Hi folks, my name is James Garbutt. I'm here with our team member Shawn Kambo. And today's video is to introduce you to Shawn, get to learn a little bit about him. He's a realtor on our team. He's been a licensed realtor for 7 years. He grew up in Burnaby, lives in Burnaby, Burnaby boy that's moved 7 times within a 10-kilometer radius of the same neighborhood. And he has the most academic credentials on our team. He's a very analytical person that has a different approach to what you would consider a stereotypical, say, realtor salesperson. So Shawn has a Bachelor of Business in Human Resources, HR, an MBA, and an MGM, Masters of Global Management. So explain that one a little bit there, Shawn.
Right, so a Masters of Global Management is like an MBA without the finance and accounting perspectives. We focus mainly on management, creating metrics, and just measuring and seeing how our management is going.
There you go. So education, nonetheless, is important to you.
Huge.
Huge, and any people out there that value that, Shawn is your man on our team. So a little bit about Shawn. He comes from a real estate family. Real estate is in his blood.
It is.
And I'd like you to kind of share a little bit about your, I guess, your upbringing in real estate. You grew up in real estate, and I know your dad, and we'll talk about that, but share about your upbringing, what real estate meant to you and your family.
Of course. So I mean, real estate as early as I can remember was a huge part of our family, starting with our grandfather who immigrated to Canada. What he did was he bought properties, and then after my dad graduated from New Westminster Secondary, he got involved in real estate as well. So he took care of his rental properties, took care of building properties, renovating properties, and all that. So I mean, as far as I can remember, back to even 6 years old, I remember our first house being built in Burnaby in the Crest neighborhood, you know, seeing construction sites, reading my Goosebump books on the steps of new construction sites. So I mean, much like how your kids are seeing you doing your renovation projects, that's how it was for me as well.
Yeah. Let me share my connection with Shawn. So in my early days of real estate, when I started farming an area, that's flyer dropping an area, I'd go to the printers, pick up my box of flyers, and I'd drop them at Canada Post. And this very nice man named Dell, who's Shawn's dad, would greet me every time, and we would chat real estate. And Dell would know the most about what's going on. He knew more about me, and I was a realtor. He would know everything that's going on. He drove the streets, knew all the listings, and that was Shawn's dad. So that was our original connection. And I knew that real estate runs through your blood. Knowing who your dad is. Yep. Let's talk about, you've been in real estate for 7 years. Your early days were a bit of a transition. It wasn't going straight and full time. So let's kind of share a little bit about, maybe before we go into the real estate, what were some of your early day outside of real estate experiences when you first got licensed before you got into it full time?
Yeah, so when I graduated from university, I was applying for HR positions. And at that time, trying to apply for a position without experience was hard. So I ended up getting a job at Canada Post as a letter carrier. So
mailman.
I was a mailman, yeah. I delivered mail to places such as West Vancouver, Capilano, all across the Lower Mainland. So I mean, I got a chance to see some of the most beautiful homes that we had to offer. And then as time went on, I got promoted to a supervisor. And then shortly after that, I took on HR contracts, such as a HR person for a tech company. And this was all while I was doing my real estate exam and selling real estate in my early years.
So you did HR for a tech company. What was the tech company about?
The tech company was more of a messaging online collaboration platform. And
then mailman for 3 years or almost. That's cool. First mailman on the team. Mailman. What would you say when you first got into real estate, what was your biggest challenges of actually getting yourself that first sale or those first couple sales? What were some of the biggest challenges you faced?
Well, growing up in a real estate family, I got a chance to see a lot of realtors coming through our homes. So I thought that, you know what, knowing the product from start to finish, I would have been a great realtor. But when I got into real estate, I never realized that every single person is different. So, I mean, I can go through every single piece that goes into a home, whether it's a stud in the wall, the concrete that's poured for the foundation, but not a lot of people care about that. Some people care about the emotional connection with the property when they first walk in. So, I mean, my biggest hurdle joining real estate was understanding that people look at different things and different aspects of homes. So, I mean, it was a learning curve for me. And trying to do a hands-on approach versus a hands-off approach, I mean, both are great. but it depends on the person that you're working with.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. We will go into a listing presentation. There'll be certain people that will want to know every little stat about every comparable and nail it down to a very analytical approach to it.
Right.
And there's others that just want to know that they're being taken care of,
Right.
that they're in good hands, and they don't need to know every little detail. And just kind of being adaptable to different people,
And
that's part of the process.
that was the experience. I needed that.
Can you share a big win in the early days?
Yeah, so my biggest win was my first deal, and the first deal was in North Vancouver, and this was back in 2012, 2013 when I first started. And I mean, back then, my first deal was 1.5 million, which was a huge deal. I mean, now when we look at 1.5 million, I mean, that's a teardown.
That's like a 3 million home today, probably, I would assume.
Close
right?
to.
Close
Yeah,
to, like
close
high
to.
twos?
Yeah, and it was brand
First
new.
deal.
First deal.
Yeah, that's a win.
It was a huge win. It was a huge win. I mean, getting the paycheck was a huge win as well. I mean,
Okay, so the past experiences that you have, you touched on your knowledge on real estate. I assume that would be what you would consider your secret weapon that you have. Is there anything else that from your HR experiences, from your tech experiences, just from your life experiences that you would consider either a secret weapon or something that's helped prepare you for being a realtor today?
yeah, but I think what it is learning to ask questions. I mean, you don't know everything about everything. And I think what's really helped me with having those many different positions and years of experience in real estate is understanding who your client is, understanding the neighborhoods that they're looking for. So, I mean, with me per se, being analytical as I am, I love to research. So I think what my experiences in all those different positions has, kind of geared me towards real estate is understanding and asking questions so I can better help people out.
Mm-hmm. No, absolutely. Yeah, the more you know, the more you realize what you don't know. Yep. And
there's a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot. And, I guess just to kind of paint a better picture for you, if it's not clear, Shawn is a very investment savvy individual. On our team, if we have someone that is a builder or someone that's looking for land value or looking to add value to a property and basically build wealth through real estate, Shawn is typically one of the go-tos that I run
Right.
to. Just simply put, knowing the knowledge of cost to building a structure, the value of land, and how that all jives, and what the end product will be worth, that's what I feel is one of your biggest strengths.
And you're completely right on that
yes,
one.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the way that that started off for me was understanding the price value of land. What can you build on this specific piece of property? What does that mean in the end product? Does that mean that it's going to be a higher price sale? Well, is it a higher price sale because of the materials you're putting in? Is it a higher price sale because of the design? Or is it a higher price sale because that's the way that the market's going? So, I mean, that's what I put in work. I put in work to understand what type of build is going to be great for the neighborhood. And I mean, in a few days, I'm going to be releasing a blog with you based on, what is the cost for building a home.
This is new to me, but I look forward to it. There's a time to build a home for $200 a foot. There's a time to build a home for $300 a foot. There's a time to build a home to sell in 1 year. There's a time to build a home to sell in 10 years. So just kind of knowing how to design and equip that home for your short or long-term plans is part of the process that I think you would add value to.
Of course.
Yeah, perfect. Okay. Favorite part of the job, Shawn? What is your favorite part of the job? If you had to pick one or two things.
Oh God, that's such a hard one, James, because I believe you need to celebrate every single success. So I mean, first finding a home, that's a great part of the job. Negotiating a great deal, that's another great part of the job. And then actually completing on that purchase is one of the best parts of the jobs. But my favorite part is when I give the keys to the new homeowners. That's my favorite part of the job.
You're getting the reward of making people happy.
That's exactly what it is. It's the start of something new for someone, whether it's the start of a new family, start of a new life in a new neighborhood, or start of an investment. I mean, that to me is the significance behind giving the key to the person.
Well, if it doesn't come clear, Shawn is a relationship guy. He really values the relationship. He maintains them. You wear it on your shoulders sometimes. If something doesn't go well and you have to disappoint an individual, you take it personally. You really kind of put your clients' lives on your shoulders. And relationships mean a lot to you.
They mean a huge deal to me because, I mean, a relationship, you're working with this person. It could be for 2 days. It could be for 2 years. And I mean, a relationship is an important thing because through that relationship, you get to know each other and trust each other. And when somebody trusts me, that means a lot to me. And that's why I value the relationships.
And I believe that people that do get to that level with you will know you in 5 years. They'll know you in 10 years. They'll know you in 20 years. You're just that type of person.
Right on.
Could be wrong, but I think that's how you're going to be. Now let's go to like kind of the more selfish stuff. What motivates you selfishly in the game of real estate? What is your favorite part of the process as a professional? Like if you want to be known for something, what motivates you there?
Well, it's the thrill of the hunt.
Thrill of the hunt.
I mean, I scour the markets day and night trying to find the best deals possible. And I mean, that's one of the blogs that I have, my top deals of every 2 weeks. I find those deals, and quite literally almost 90 to 100% of the deals I find sell within a week or two.
Would this originated from dinner table chat with your pops about the best deals on the market every night, or what was it?
Every day.
Every day?
It drives my wife crazy.
Yeah, fair enough.
All we do is we talk about what's new, what's happening in the market. Is it coming down? Is it going up? You know, what's our gut feelings for what's going on? So, I mean, it gives us a chance to chat as a family, and it's fun.
I'm guessing I've had 2 or 3 dozen conversations with your dad over the last 10 years, and I don't think we've talked about anything but real estate or anything but a property that's on the market. It is in his blood. It must be in yours too.
That's my dad.
Okay. What do you want people to know about your approach to real estate? So a client's considering to bring you on as their realtor. They're trusting you to handle their needs.
Right.
What do you want them to know about your style, your approach?
I get excited about real estate. I really do. And I mean, my demeanor is really calm. So, I mean, some people can get really emotionally involved. I try to make sure I keep a calm demeanor because a real estate transaction is probably one of the most expensive transactions in someone's life. So, I mean, if you have a realtor who's freaking out, I mean, you're going to freak out tenfold. So, I mean, I try to keep it calm. I try to understand the market. I try to keep it calm. I understand the markets, and it's complete honesty and sincerity whenever you work with me. So I'll be honest about which way I think the market's going, honest about what's been happening in the market, and I'll keep it calm.
Cool and calm.
Cool and
I like it. I like it. Okay, next one. 10 years from now, Shawn, you're 10 years deeper in this business. You're building a name for yourself. What do you want to be known for?
It's a good question. I think for the type of products I want to be known for is the $3 to $8 million range. I mean, I feel that that's the way that Vancouver's going.
Hey, that could be a teardown in 10 years.
Yeah. And in some parts of Vancouver,
you're right. It already is.
So I want to be known as the higher end market, single family detached homes.
Yeah.
It's something that I've known since day one. It's something that I think I can excel at. And with the relationships I'm building and with the way that the property values have been going, you know, I feel like that's where it's going to be one day. And
where's your favorite part of town if this $3 to $8 million Shawn Kambo 10 years from now legendary expert would live?
That's a good question. You know, one area that I absolutely love for vicinity to everything, whether it's downtown Vancouver, the airport, Oak Ridge, I love Vancouver West.
Yeah.
And there's something special about that neighborhood because, I mean, you could be on the chaos on 41st, on Cambie, and then all of a sudden you just drive off maybe one block and it just turns into the most beautiful neighborhood. It's calm, quiet. People take care of their homes and take pride in their community. So, I mean, that's one of the reasons why I love Vancouver West.
You think Cambie West or like Cambie area West or Dunbar 2 West, Main Street 2 East? Which kind of zone are we talking about? Cambie, like pinpoint a main area.
Okay, so
like just one dream spot.
One dream spot?
Yeah.
Okay, I would say that it's Dunbar.
Dunbar. Okay, there you go.
Dunbar.
Dunbar's your spot.
Dunbar's my spot.
All right.
Yeah.
3 to 8 million. Dunbar. 10 years. We're gonna watch this video and see how it happens. It's gonna happen, right, Shawn?
It's gonna happen.
Okay, crystal ball time.
Okay.
Being an investment savvy, kind of long term, big thinker.
Right.
You have $1 million to spend today on real estate. You are strictly trying to get the best return on your buck.
Right.
You have some energy to put in the property.
Right.
I'll let you decide how much energy. Where are you parking your $1 million investment? What does that look like?
That's a really good question.
It's a tough one.
I have a good idea of where I would like to go. And I think there's 2 different options I go with $1 million. Now, over the last little bit, the prices of Burnaby homes has come down quite a bit. So we're starting to see some that are on the $1 million mark. So, I mean, if I were to go with the detached home, it'd probably be in New Westminster or in East Burnaby, because that's where I know you can get a sizable property. Now, if I'm thinking about condos, you know, the thing that I'm thinking of is am I going to be close to work? Am I going to be close to traveling around to the areas where I want to do a lot of work? And is there an upside for rental? And I think the perfect area for that would be close to downtown Vancouver, because that's where a lot of our industry is. That's where a lot of businesses are, and I think I could get great rent for that. So if it's condo, I'd say downtown for $1 million, and if it's going to be a single detached, I'd say around New Westminster, East Burnaby is where.
Yeah, and detached meaning expect to put some sweat equity into that,
yes,
and potentially redevelop it one day down the road.
That's
but
exactly
you believe in the land for those that have the time and energy to invest in their real estate. But if they don't, if they're busy professionals,
yep,
potentially that condo on the outskirts of Vancouver.
yes,
Yeah.
I think that's a perfect place.
Okay, budget's just gone up to 2.5. Where are you parking 2.5?
Kitsilano.
Kitsilano, there you
Kitsilano.
go. Enough said. No even elaboration on that.
Kitsilano.
Kitsilano, you're gonna living in paradise too. So it's a combination of investment in financially and investment in happiness in Kitsilano.
Exactly. And if you're looking at building, or if I was looking at building, then I'd look at Burnaby.
Yeah,
Yeah,
of course.
because you can buy a house for maybe 1.5 on a great sized lot.
Yeah.
Maybe a 50 by 120 with a laneway, and with the way that the Burnaby City Hall is going with their planning department, they may allow laneway homes. So I mean, probably pick up a property for 1.5 and then put maybe about 600,000 into building, have 400,000 left over for the laneway house one day.
There you go. Already thinking through it. Well, there's not much more I want to cover, but what I want to just kind of emphasize here is that Shawn on our team is, from a personality perspective, he's a very caring individual that just loves people and loves to have good relationships with people. From a real estate perspective, he's very investment savvy and analytical about his approach to evaluating properties, and he shares that knowledge with everyone that he works with or everyone that he's around. Is there anything else that I'm missing here? Any sort of message you want to leave with whoever's going to watch this video to know about you on any level?
That's a really good question.
That's a really open question.
It is. It leaves so much out there.
Yeah.
I've been exposed to so many different things. All of them are real estate related. All of them are management focused. So I mean, given my education, I've been given an education on how do you manage people, how do you manage expectations, how do you evaluate properties, how do you evaluate businesses. So I mean, the analytical side of my education really helps out when it comes to dealing with people, because it kind of helps me understand people have different investments in mind, whether it's cash flow, whether it's return on investment. So, I mean, it really helps me understand the type of investments people want to do. Now, my 7+ years of real estate experience allows me to understand how the markets work, how people invest in these type of products. So, I mean, I really think that I have the best of both worlds. I have the knowledge, I also have the experience, but then I also accompany it with a relationship building approach. So I think I am really bringing a triple threat to real estate.
I agree. And the one thing I didn't emphasize there is Shawn has been involved in multiple builds, and he were the main lead on construction of 2 houses.
I was.
So that knowledge is very valuable in this world.
For project management, to selecting tiles, to understanding design and feng shui, how people live and work and breathe inside of their homes. I mean, it's a huge part of why I got into real estate because it interests me.
I agree. I'm glad you mentioned that. Anyway, that's it for today, folks. This is Shawn Kambo. I'm James Garbutt. Thanks for watching. Till next time.
Bye.